Big Malc's here. Oh, yeah, how's Mbappe doing, Big Malc?
Oh, he's doing well.
Yeah. All right. I said to Gary when I interviewed him yesterday, actually, when I interviewed him yesterday, I said about you going to get Mbappe for him. So he says he's got like a leather suitcase full of money he's going to give you.
Good man. Another one.
Hey, disclosure, eh? Right then, chaps. Thanks for coming on to the round table. We have got Herne Bay Supporters Association, Sam Robson here. Really appreciate him coming on. He's been on the podcast before when the Herne Bay boys certainly beat a certain Ashford, and we all enjoyed that. So first of all, actually, Sam, hello. How do you think your season's going?
I think by slow, personally, but then I'll be honest, I wasn't expecting too much being the first year. I wasn't expecting us to do to go in and light the league up. We've had a couple of disappointing results. We've had a couple of positive results. It's just at the moment it feels that there's games when you go into games thinking you're going to win and we lose, and then we go into games thinking we're going to lose, you end up winning. So there's consistency is probably the biggest word in football, and we haven't got that at the moment. But anything can happen at the moment on a Saturday to a Tuesday. I don't know. Saturday will be an interesting test. It would have been nice to play last night against Billericay, because I think after we beat Lewis, there was that momentum going to Bognor, and obviously losing to Bognor was a disappointing finish to what had been a good week. It hasn't been easy, you know. I mean, you boys had a tough start, and sort of now look at where you are now, probably saying that you're starting to find your feet. And I think a good win last night as well, against, and done us a bit of a favour because against the team. So we'll wait and see. It's tough. I would probably say come March, if we're in this position come March, then I think the panicking would start to set in. But I think right now we'll be okay. I think we'll be safe. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. For your lot, you don't have any trouble scoring goals. It's just keeping them out. That's the issue, isn't it, really?
I think there's a stat of we've conceded 5 penalties in 5 games.
Oh, you ain't, have you? Really? The refs are against you?
Well, yes, yeah, no. I think the standard refereeing this year hasn't improved. I mean, the referee we had on last Tuesday wasn't very good. The referee we had on Saturday, you know, a very soft yellow card. Obviously, their left back got sent off. He gave a very soft yellow card, so I'll say he was against us. And then obviously 2 minutes into the second half, we've given away a penalty. And as they say, don't give the referee something to do when they're in the box. So at the moment, it just seems every time a team goes forward, you always put your hands over your eyes just in case, because you're expecting the opposition to score, which is, you know, it's not really what you want to be saying. But I mean, as you boys probably found at the start of the season, that's probably how it felt, that everything you seem to do just isn't, you know, you're conceding, but you're not putting the ball in the back of the net. We've just got to try to, I think we just haven't found a balance of what our strongest 11 is yet. I don't think us fans probably know what our strongest 11 is. But I think, like I said, we could do with a striker, even though we are still scoring goals. He's strengthened with TT. Obviously, we've seen Zach go, which was a disappointment. But it is what it is. It's football. Players come, players will go. We just have to deal with it. Yeah. So
your sides. I mean, what do we expect when we come along to face you? Who's going to cause us all sorts of mischief, Sam?
I think the front three at the moment, he's gone with Rory Smith, TT, and KC. Rory Smith, who went on loan to Deal at the start of the season, has come back, has scored something like 4 goals in 5, 4 goals in 6. Causing problems. He's a workhorse. He gets himself stuck in. Obviously, Kieran Campbell, we know the strengths of Kieran Campbell. He's a player who is always consistent. And I've always said that when he has a bad day or night, I think the rest of the team follow suit, which is quite bad. But I think that's the way good players have that effect on the team. But we signed TT back from Maidstone on a short loan deal, and we saw against Lewis just actually how good he really is. He could have had a hat-trick against Bogner.
Did you go,
Yeah.
Sam, to the Lewis game, yeah?
Yeah.
How good was that? How good was that then? Talk us through that Lewis game.
For us, you know, I'd say, being positive that was a game I was expecting it to be a long night for us, because that's just the way that our season's planned out. But actually, to be honest, we made them look a mid-table team. We took our chances. They didn't. We was clinical from the word go. We hunted, we pressed. And I think they were, you know, obviously their reaction was on Saturday by beating Enfield Town. And that's what I mean. Anyone in this league seems to be able to beat anyone. And that was a good example. Who would have thought that after losing to us, they would have gone to Enfield Town and won? So at the moment, you know, Bogner was a real disappointment, but Lewis on a Tuesday night there was a real good feel-good factor back at the club. And, you know, we've not, you know, I think that was our third home game. We've been at Ramsgate since the start of the season, which isn't easy because that's like playing away from home. But I'm hoping now that, you know, the crowd just need to stick behind it. You know, it is hard. It is hard. It's, you know, obviously we saw the effect it had last year when you come to us, you put 2 goals past us in 6 minutes and then the crowd just died down. And that's hard. That's tough to take. But that's football. It's just the way that it works. You know, people expect that you sing for 90 minutes. It doesn't always work like that. You know, so, you know, at the moment there is, I think, a bit of disappointment from Saturday's result, but I also think there's positivity in the fact that we are slowly but surely working our way up. And I think we get through this tough, you know, we've had some tough fixtures. I mean, Hornchurch, who are very good, who have, you know, obviously are up there. Potts Bar, again, who would have thought at the start of the season that they would be where they are? So, but that's the way it is. It's, you know, this is welcome to the higher league, and I think that's the rude awakening which I think we've found ourselves.
I hadn't hit the record button beforehand. Just for people that are coming along to the game, Sam, your clubhouse isn't finished. So if anyone wants to pop in for a beer, where are they going?
If you're coming via train, you have you've got the Heron, which is right outside the train station. 5-minute walk to the grounds. If you do want to go into the ground early, and you know, obviously they've got the main stand, there is a couple of pop-up bars around the ground. Or if you're coming even earlier and you want to go into Herne Bay, you've got Wetherspoons, you've got Druids, you've got Prince of Wales, which is obviously where we drink at. Obviously, there's Parkerville, which is along the high street. So there is numerous of pubs. Like I said, Heron, if you're coming via train, Heron's the best one because it's right outside the train station. So, and hopefully, maybe next season, if we're both in this league, one way or another, that the clubhouse will all be ready and open. So hopefully.
Yeah, no, just one thing, because I'm a bit of an old fogey. Do you do a printed programme, don't you?
No, it's gone to e-programs. I know it's not something which it was actually, to be fair, I bought a program from Bogner. It was one of the best programs I think I've read this season. But a lot of teams are moving to e-programs. Whether it's the cost, I think it is a little bit of the cost is playing a part, but also think it's a bit of laziness. I think it feels that there shouldn't be an excuse to not print them really. And I think there's a bit of laziness creeping in, not just our club, but I think most of clubs. Yeah,
quite a few, yeah.
And I think a lot of the I wouldn't say older generation, but who like to log their games and stuff like that. The programs is how you do it. And at the moment, it's a real shame that that's not happening. So, but it is found. The club do release. It's normally a day before. It's good. To be fair, it's still an okay read, but I prefer them if they were paper.
Oh, well, we've ended it on a sour note there, Sam. Not really. No, Sam, look, thanks for coming along. Is there anything you want to mention, anything you want to say, anything you want to know about Hastings?
No, just intrigued to see that you had a slow start to the season. I think what are your expectations for the season? Are you coming in with an open mind of, not competing, because obviously you was going to, but was there that feeling of where do you think you guys will finish this year?
Well, I'll tell you what, I'll hand that one over to Malcolm. Where do you think we're finishing?
Playoffs. I think we just scrape into the playoffs. And then it's anybody's in it. It's we go from there. But yeah, hopefully we're just scraping there.
George?
Got to win the league. That's what we're for, to win the league, Chris. No, there's no point. Herne Bay can come up in the playoffs again.
Yeah.
We'll see that we'll both
beat
be
Lewis.
in
Beat Lewis in the playoffs. That'd be nice, wouldn't it?
No, we're going up and Lewis are going down.
Oh yeah, that was it. Yeah. That's what we were seeing. Yeah.
They're going down, mate. They're going down.
No, to be fair,
I haven't seen anyone in this league that I thought we'd have games where especially early in the season, where we might be off the pace, and be like worried about that. But I haven't seen anyone that's markedly better than us. So it's exciting, isn't it?
So I was saying, it's not for your boys. I won't worry too much. You know, like there's like that lot we played last night. Yeah, you'd turn them over. If you've got goals in your team, you're turning that side over. So not so much to worry about.
Yeah, I think that's a fair. I mean, there are games when Aveley was probably the point where we probably realised that actually we are. I mean, Harringay Borough, when we played them, we made them look very poor, mediocre, and now look, they're I think 8th or 9th. So as I say, anyone could beat anyone. Yeah. It's going to be interesting Saturday. Yeah. I think if you're a betting man, I think you go for the away team. So that option for me will be. I won't say what the result. I think the result will be, but if I was a betting man, it's But yeah.
Well, yeah, on form, but you never know, do you? I mean, we're playing all right, but you know, it's 11 versus 11 at the end, isn't it? So
yeah.
Anyway, well, listen, Sam. Look, thanks for coming on, mate. Take care. And anything you want to shout out about Herne Bay before you go?
Just everyone just keep doing what they're doing, and it will come together. The chairman's worked tirelessly hard along with the manager, and hopefully, as you boys know from last year, how tough it can be, the league and vice versa. So good luck, safe travels, and we'll see you Saturday. So we'll be in the ground hopefully around 2:30.
Nice.
So
make some noise. Make sure you make some noise, mate. Excellent. Take care, mate. Yeah?
Perfect. Well done.
Mate.
See you, Sam.
See you later.
Now we're down to Big Malc and George. Fantastic to see Malc here. Malc's gone through reconstructive bionic surgery. How are you feeling at the moment, Malc?
Yeah, good. Thanks. Yeah, good in myself. Bit sore, but getting there. So I'm hoping to make the game on Saturday, albeit, you know, very slowly, but hopefully I'll get there.
Well, good. It's good to hear. Good to see you're all right.
Thanks, mate.
So, Bishop Stortford came to Pilot Field. Could have gone either way. Unfortunately, we couldn't put our chances away, and they nicked it with a sloppy goal that we gave away. George, any thoughts on that before I give you mine?
Yeah, just again, they're the favourites for the league, and they were at the start of the season, and they didn't look like they were miles and miles better than us. There were a few bits of football where we thought, they're a really competent team at this level, but just didn't see them being streets and streets ahead of us. So I left the game not concerned about the season, even though it was really disappointing to lose at home and not score. But just, really, really not worried about the season after that.
Well, yeah. And I know you weren't there, Malcolm, but the unfortunately, Lloyd Dawes looked lively for 10, 15 minutes, and then his hamstring went. It's a real bloody shame. He looked distraught as he was going off. What did you say?
The season's problem where not scoring goals? Obviously, you know about the defence and the record at the moment. But was it just that we couldn't score a goal, or were we not making the chances, or what?
For a good 15, 20 minutes at the beginning of the game, I felt we looked good. There was some good movement from TC and Lloyd Dawes was causing problems. You know, James Hull had a really good chance that I think if he's playing under 23s or for Bexhill, that's straight in the net. But just hesitated a little bit, which is unfortunate. And it was just a tight game. It was I think we struggled after Lloyd went off offensively, but I mean defensively I still felt we looked solid, but you know, it's something that I know Gary's obviously looking at getting a couple of faces in. I mean, everything's looking bright other than that. And then obviously we lead into yesterday where we banged 4 in. So
yeah, how was that in? I mean, I don't know whether you're leading on to last night, but obviously I was following it on Twitter again, and it seemed very much that we couldn't score, and then you know they just kept coming. There was 4 after that, so you know it seems a bit ironic that you're saying about scoring, and then you off of the back of a 4-0 away win. But again, it just seemed we was following it. I was following it quite some time with thinking, you know, it just seems as if we can't score again here. But am I wrong there? Or?
We changed the shape. We stuck TC up front with Ben Pope, and played slightly more direct. And well, it worked. Everything worked. We were great down the wings, weren't we, George?
Yeah, Nori running at people was great to watch, and obviously that made the first goal. Brilliant bit of footwork. They were team goals. I think John Meany said today on Twitter, team goals. Yeah, good to watch. Great to watch back. Some good footage being posted up of the 4 goals. Yeah, absolutely wonderful. Really, that we kept going and kept trying to score. As did they. To be fair, Wingate kept attacking us, even at 4-0. They were still having a go. So yeah, that was good to see. You know, I think Wingate would have happily played for an 8-1. They just wanted 1 goal. It just kept coming. But no, we were good. And some good finishes. You know, they're like tap-ins, but the ball is crossed hard, and to control it like that, and it's sort of three quite similar goals really.
A lot of the overlaps were working. It was really good stuff. It was it was a joy to watch. When I mean, I know it took us 4.5 bloody hours to get there, but because of those what are they called again? You know, the ones you were firing fireworks at, George. What are they called?
Idiots.
Twats.
Twats. That's it, yeah. Well, I could say something else, but I won't. So we missed. Didn't get there till 8:10, but you know, just some quality football. It was really solid, and we didn't give it. I mean, I was watching your boy Stoney, and he was bossing them, and you know, there was what I liked about there was an arrogance there as well. You know, it's like you're not on the same pitch as us, if you get what I mean. It was men against boys. I felt, you know, like they could have tried to. Yeah, they were trying to attack, but they weren't getting nowhere. You know, that the defense was very sound.
Yeah.
I mean, any more on that, George? I'm just trying to think. Is there anything I'm missing?
Just think something's got to be said for having Sam Hasler back in the side. Especially away from home, just that's such a presence in the middle. And yeah, obviously the defence has been amazing, not conceding goals. But to do that, you've got to control a lot of the middle park. And him and Dixon. And Worrell had a good game as well last night. Great to have Hasler back. And just the most exciting bit of the game, you saw that Elliot, Nori, and TC were all down one side at one point, working together. We look really threatening, Yeah.
And what was good about that is they weren't getting in each other's way. You know, sometimes they kind of do the same thing. You know, that they're kind of both where they both in the wrong position, if you get what I mean. Like that they want to go down a certain way, and they're getting in each other's way in terms of attack. And it was smooth. It was great 1-2s. I mean, as I say, I wish we could play this Finchley lot every week. It was, but we can't.
Yeah, there'll be tougher tests than that. I mean, four teams go down from this division this season, which makes it incredibly tough. You know, I'm sure they'll get better or sign other players, but if they play like that, I think they'll be one of the 4. But who knows? Like our Sam from Herne Bay said, anyone can beat anyone in this division. They beat Lewis 4-0, you know, and then go and lose the next one. So anything can happen.
I mean, any thoughts? Anything from the camp you've heard, Malc? You spoke to Stoney recently?
Nothing, I'm afraid. No, it's been. I spoke to him on Sunday and that, and he was saying he was gutted to lose on Saturday, and you know he thought, you know, Hastings were the better side. I haven't spoken to him about last night's game, but I haven't heard any changes or anything that's afoot, I must admit, or or anything about anyone coming in on loan or anything? I've heard nothing. No news.
Wow, because he's obviously Gary's pushing out you agents. You can't be trusted.
I know. But there's few and far between out there, mate. That's the thing, especially strikers. They all want strikers. Well,
I did it as I did that interview with me. They're hopeful we're getting Gabodi back, and hopefully that'll happen by the time this comes out. But and he said he's put a couple of 7-day notices in on people. Didn't say who they were, so but we'll see. I left very happy. I mean, I know it was a long old day, but after that game, where literally everything worked, Malc, it was one of those where it's just, this is great. It doesn't always work that way, but
it's always good to see a club like, personally, Hastings are a bigger club, but unfortunately, the geographical problem of Hastings attracting players. It's always good to see a club like Hastings beat a London club. Because the area that they've got to draw players from, is far more vast, more lucrative than Hastings. Purely on geographical, not finance or anything like that. That I don't know about, but geographically, players don't want to travel down to Hastings training twice a week, and so it's always nice to see a club like Hastings beat a London club.
Yeah, you see Cray Wanderers today have got a player on loan from Leyton Orient, and that's the sort of thing that goes on during the season with London Football League clubs and National League clubs. You can ship players out to step 3, step 4 quite easily. The players don't have to travel very far. It's just so easy for them to do that. Whereas for us, where is that option for us? Our option is to home grow our own players, isn't it? Really, it's our best option for players.
Yeah.
That's right, and the players, like Gabodi and Breffo and them sort of around, sort of the midway at Gillingham area. They're young and they don't drive. So you're asking them 3 times a week to go down to Sussex, and they can't always do that. Whereas the London-based clubs, like you say, Leyton Orient and out close to Cray, and jump on a train tube, they're there. It's a lot easier.
So what do we do then, Malc?
I don't know. The option is to train a bit closer to halfway. You attract more there, and you're asking homegrown to travel a little bit, and it's something they may have to get used to anyway. Moving it if they don't make the grade, or if they go even higher than Hastings, they'll have to travel. So it's an option of training halfway, and then you're just asking them to travel down for home games, which most of them wouldn't have a problem with. I think it's the 2 training days that they after work they've got to go down and train.
Yeah.
So
where do they train at the moment?
Down at the ground, isn't it?
It's just at the ground, is it?
Yeah.
I think so.
On that lovely pitch.
Yeah, on that lovely pitch.
Oh, Rudkins, he must be getting upset about that. Well, all right, and so let's look at Herne Bay. What do we think the score's going to be? I'm thinking you're never going to do that. 2-0, 2-0 Hastings.
10-0. I'm never going to do a score.
10-0, 10-0. What's wrong here? Fucking 10-0.
I was closest last week, wasn't I?
Look. Oh, Malc made the big. He said, "What did you said 2-0, didn't you?"
2-0.
Yeah. So you weren't far off.
No.
See, this is the people I should be talking to, George. Malc, what's the score? Go on, Herne Bay.
3-1.
Hastings. Yes. See.
Yeah.
Right now, George, are you going to edit that 10-0? Is it 10-0 still?
I never do scores for my own team ever.
Okay.
Ever.
It's not your fault if you get it wrong, by the way. Yeah?
I know. I've got over that now. That's why I predicted us to win the league, Chris. I'm all good with that. I'm all good. Have you predicted us to win the league, Chris?
Let's not go back to Corinthians now and that conversation. I thought we'd finish. I remember when we did the prediction league. I think I said we'd be about 7th, 8th.
Yeah,
that's what I said at the start of the season.
You stick with that now?
I don't know. After that 4-0, I'm thinking like as Malc says, at least playoffs.
Yeah.
At least playoffs. You know, it's the future's bright, mate.
You find out about around January time whether you were good or they were poor, or you know what's going on. But you know, and yeah, who knows? That's why we go every week. We don't know what's going to happen, do we? So,
exactly.
That's why it's so good.
It's absolutely lovely to see you, Big Malc. George, I won't see you at this game because I'm working. I'll be down watching Hollet and Westfield on Saturday on my break. But enjoy the game, and I'll see you during the week.
Yep. See you, Chris.
That's it.
I'll see you at the cup game, Chris.
Is it a cup game on Tuesday?
No, I'm not there Tuesday. I'll be there the following Saturday. So
you're missing a game. How disloyal.
Booked a holiday Sunday to Friday, and then they rearrange a game for the Tuesday. So
disgrace.
Can't do much more than that.
Take care, lads.
Yeah.
And
listen to Radio Carter.
Oh yeah, Radio Carter's back, everyone. Radio Carter. Listen.
Great, he would be, wouldn't he, this week? When I needed him this week, he wasn't there. But this Saturday,
stuck in a traffic jam, mate. Oh, bless him. No, he was over and above last night. Top man. Anyway.